What have you got to say to this boy's parents about your contact that you've been having with him? Okay. Wow. That's what you'd like to say to this boy's parents?
Thank you very much.
Public nudity is clearly not an issue for Blondie, even at peak hour on one of Melbourne's busiest streets. In my time at a current affair, I've been hosed with a garden hose. I've had a baseball bat pulled on me. I've had a cricket bat pulled on me. But never before have I had somebody flash their boobs at me. This was a one of a kind.
I don't care about any of this.
You don't care about sending these messages to 13-year-old boys?
Clearly not.
It's classed as grooming. Who sends nudes to a 13-year-old boy?
Apparently me.
And do you not think that that's damaging for a young boy? His parents certainly do.
The basis of this story is a really serious issue, and it came about from a family member of a teenage boy approaching us saying that there was a burlesque dancer online who'd been what they thought was grooming their teenage friend. And they came to us saying, we've got the text messages, we can show it to you. Why is this woman doing this? And somebody has to stop it. Blondie is an exotic dancer who calls herself a burlesque bombshell to her 105,000 followers on Instagram. Many of them are young teenage boys. But then she started messaging a 13-year-old follower after he mentioned her account in one of his posts.
Yo, I have a hot supermodel following me now.
Damn, called out perving on the 12s again.
We've always think that our boys are a little bit safer than our young daughters, but they're not.
The text messages that she was sending are just honestly quite difficult to comprehend. It was stuff that you would never imagine an adult woman would be sending to a teenage boy, and even at one point calling herself a pedo and laughing about it. I mean, it was just really difficult to fathom what was going on. Peter knows the boy and is acting as a spokesperson on behalf of the boy's family, who ACA has chosen not to identify. He says at first the teen's comments didn't sound believable.
Hearing that, I got messaged by a porn star, and as an adult, the stupid thing is you pay no attention to a silly comment like that.
This is one of those stories where the person you're after initially tries to deny that it was them or deny any part of it. It was only when I actually showed her the nude pictures she'd been sending to this teenage boy that she finally realised that we had evidence on her of what she'd been doing.
Is that you? Who sends nudes to a 13-year-old?
You know, I'm like 18 when I did this.
No.
It's like 2 years ago.
No, it was last year.
And at that point, she must have felt pushed into a corner, and as a burlesque dancer, her method of getting out of that appeared to be, righto, I'm going to flash the camera.
Okay. Wow.
This was a very unique situation. This wasn't something that you ever learned at university about becoming a journalist, of how you could handle a situation like this. I think at the time I was almost lost for words, probably for the first time in my life. I think all I could sort of stumble out was, okay, wow, is that really what you've got to say? So it was for me, it was a momentary stumble, a momentary shock of like, well, okay, I've never seen that before. But then having to bring it back home to what would you say to the parents of this boy about why you're sending him these nude messages.
You don't think that a mother is going to be horrified by a burlesque dancer sending nude photos to a 13-year-old son?
You've informed me she is. I don't know this mother.
And you don't seem to care about that?
I don't care.
She was laughing and thought it was all a bit of a joke. I think that Blondie never quite realised what she'd been sending to this teenage boy was really inappropriate. And his family, they're horrified by what she was sending. And I think any parent in Australia would be quite horrified at a woman, a burlesque dancer, targeting their teenage boy and sending them this kind of stuff. She eventually did own up to it, but then she said she doesn't really care. She was actually laughing about it. She thought it was a bit of a joke. And she basically said to us, why have I got a current affair here? Where are the police? If I've done anything wrong, where are the police?
Instead of being sent to police, I've been sent a current affair.
Well, let's see what the police have to say about it.
Let's
eh?
see. Okay, good. That's great.
Well, Blondie, the police are still investigating this one. They do still want to talk to you. And if anybody out there has seen Blondie or Bethany Edgecombe, please let us know.